manufacturing, technology, hot topics, and a little bit of tomfoolery. This is the MTD Podcast.
We are back. We've been away for a while. I am joined, well, obviously myself, Colin Griffiths, and Gio, your full name?
Hi, Cole. Albanese.
Gio Albanese, and...
Joe, have you recovered, Colin, from EMO?
I have. Have you? Well, maybe Paul and Gio, I think they had a whale of a time.
Yeah, they did. Well, Paul's, he's absent at the moment, so he'll be joining us shortly. But that tells you all you need to know about EMO, of course.
He's still in quarantine. But this is Series 2, Episode 1. If anybody has been wondering where we've been building up to EMO, which was, I would say, well, one word described. My word is frenetic. God, that stunned looks round.
Oh, I'm trying to think of a bigger word, Colin. I'm struggling, I must admit. Tiring would be mine.
Gio?
Innovative.
Blimey, that's a bigger word. So what we're going to do then, I think, people who don't know EMO, which any engineer, I think they will do, 27 halls of, well, machine tools, software.
Engineering porn.
Well, you could say that if you like, Gio.
New technologies and new innovations that we fell upon.
So I think that is perfect for us to showcase or talk about things we saw that really, really stood out. So I'm going to open it up to Joe first.
Me first, wow, okay. So there was lots, difficult to pick, isn't it? But I'm going to choose the Mazak Smooth AI to start off with.
What on earth is that?
So Mazak Smooth is a control. It's been around for maybe 3 years, I would think, something like that. But the AI is a fairly new, well, it is a new enhancement, European premiere at EMO. AI meaning artificial intelligence. They're looking at programming on the fly that you can control your robot from your control, so you don't need to go and learn third-party software, automated machine tending, spindle compensation. There's lots.
I'm thinking Terminator, mate. Robots are taking over.
The robots are taking over. In theory, drag and drop programming.
Dragon? Why dragon?
Drag and drop.
Drag and drop, sorry.
A true digital twin. So... Do you know what a digital twin is, Colin?
I've got a twin brother, but he's not digital.
No, do you know what it means,
Might
though?
be soon in the future.
And just for the people at home, he has got one. It's slightly better looking, Colin, but I believe you are twins.
I'm Brad Pitt, he is Armpit, but moving on quickly.
Yeah. So, a digital twin, which is the most exciting element. So, a digital twin is when you've got the same machining environment in your office as this out on the machine tool. So essentially what happens on your desktop is what happens in the machining environment. And that's not new, but typically like an Integrex, we're talking Mazak, so let's talk about an Integrex. No two will ever be the same. There'll always be slightly differences in the structure, in the build. But with the digital twin, you can be assured that they are, as the name would suggest, it's a twin.
Artificial intelligence was something that we've seen on the Esprit stand as well, wasn't it? We met the founder.
I didn't open up to you, but okay. Thanks for that, Joe. What stood out for you, Gio?
No, just keeping on the theme of artificial intelligence. So I learned about that at EMO. I never really heard of it before in the past, but we were invited onto the Esprit stand, a CAD-CAM company,
right.
And they say that they've revolutionised the way in which people can program, design, manufacture it, completely revolutionise how this is done. So effectively in the past when it required manual intervention, now it doesn't. The computers are teaching themselves from what would take a human a lifetime to learn. They can teach themselves in minutes, apparently, which is quite scary.
Stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So Elon Musk stuff, isn't it?
It is very, very scary.
It is.
Colin, how about you? Your highlight
of
the show.
Well, we did see absolutely loads, and I've got my list here, and I'm trying to think. One thing I thought was GF, and they did some AM.
GFAM.
Yep,
talking George Fisher, Additive Manufacturing.
You got it, absolutely. Yeah. But they because I thought there's always a question mark over 3D printing, additive manufacturing, aerospace parts. But they 3D printed a jet engine exhaust nozzle. Easy for me to say. Absolutely amazing. Looked like something out of the Game of Thrones. It was just.
Is that fantastic. What your social media post was?
Just giving out the answer if they haven't put it up yet. Yeah,
did look nice actually, Colin.
It was amazing, and also some jet injector nozzles as well. And they're printing about 20 at a time, so almost production.
What material?
It was Inconel.
I'll tell you a true story as well. I was at a wine event at the weekend, and I met a lady from George Fisher whom had been watching all of MTD's activity at EMO.
Oh, I think you got that wrong. It's a lady who's married to George Fisher. He's a guy.
No, not George Clooney, George Fisher.
He works in a co-op down the road.
So come on, guys. We're being distracted here. So George Fisher, a bit of additive manufacturing. Absolutely amazing stuff. Joe, what else?
Oh, there's an abundance, Colin. Where'd you start?
Well, I wish you would.
I'm going to go with the RF100 Speed from Goering. It's a product that's been around for 12 months, but they've recently added just so you don't, if you know, it's an end mill essentially, carbide end mill.
I was going to say, assume our audience don't know.
Okay, so
I don't
RF100 Speed's been out for approximately 12 months as a 4-flute variant. So they've now introduced 5 and 7 flute, would you believe? So high efficiency roughing. The flute's got chip breakers, so reduce your chip thickness so you can push your feed rates. And it's up to 7 flute now. So you imagine trochoid minimum 7 flutes. And it's strong as well, so you're not going to, and you've got the chip thinning, so you're not going to choke your tool and ultimately have a failure.
We reviewed them end mills, didn't we?
Is that the one you forgot to press record on, Gio?
It was actually, but we'll have to re-review them.
Fortunately, I did it earlier in the week, so we've got it.
See what I have to work with.
It's very hard to kind of reinvent the wheel, if you like. But so especially with end mills and technology like that. But what Goering have done, what we can make of it, to actually incorporate chip breakers into the flutes of the end mills is revolutionary, isn't it? It's something quite new. I've never noticed it before.
Well, those chip breakers though, because I saw some, they actually had some at the Kia Ceira SGS stand as well, and they'd gone 7 flute as well. This is for aerospace.
Mine's better than yours.
Oh, whatever. But the chip breakers are essentially just grooves in the flute all the way down. I mean, not to make it sound really, really simple, but is that the same with this
It looks simple. It looks like you've just put grooves on it, but that's a mathematical equation where you put those, believe it or not, because you need to get optimum chip thinning. It's easy just to put them anywhere.
That's where your mate algorithm came in.
Al, he's a nice guy, Al.
But yeah, all day, Gio, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll fill him in later. But yeah, for sure. There's a lot of cutting tool innovation. You're absolutely right. There's very rarely a product that is brand new that no one else has got. But it's a change of a theme. I'm sure the SGS is great. I haven't seen it myself, but the Goering one.
SGS, you can't just say.
Apologies, but the Goering product is astounding. Really good.
Right, Joe. Enough of Joe. Gio.
We've just recently taken on a new client, SMW Autoblock Talbot. We were fortunate enough to be invited onto their stand, and they did a world first, a brand new vice. Now, we all know.
First, are you sure?
Yes, it was. Yeah, totally brand new innovation. So,
what vice? No, I've seen vices before, Gio.
Yeah, but this one is totally revolutionary. So basically, we've seen single station, we've seen dual station, and we've seen centric grippers, but we've not seen one that incorporates all 3 different mechanisms. So they've come up with this new, totally patented design in which it can be used as a single station, a dual station, or a centric gripper. So effectively, you could be using it on a 5th axis machine, on a 3-axis machine, on a horizontal, and it can be used in all different with all different elements. So, say for example, if you wanted to just hold on 3mm excess material, use it as a centric gripper and centralise your part, you can. If you wanted to use it in single station mode, open up capacity, you can. It didn't need any crimping machine. They actually used like carbide serrated inserts, which you could just incorporate into the jaw.
Well, just dents the material.
Yeah, indents the material. It's got enough clamping force to be able to indent it itself without needing it. There's so many innovations with this product, which... can't wait to see it in the UK. Absolutely. It will be coming to the UK market very soon.
Very soon, okay. Now, my turn. Come on, let me have a go, guys. I mean, again, I've got a list of things, absolutely amazing. When you go to a stand and you're chatting with one of the engineers who's got a massive smile on it, I mean, they're normally pretty cheery.
It's because you were there on Friday. They weren't smiling Monday, Colin.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it's just so enthused by this new product. And that was on the Citizen stand. They had a number of new things. But they had, I can't remember, I think it was a BNA 64. I might be wrong on that, but
I need to know, Colin. Is that what it was called or not?
I can't actually off the top of my head because you caught me on a hop there. But on the turret, it had B-axis, fully 360 degrees, rotating B-axis on the turret as well. Yeah, absolutely. You're trying to picture that, aren't you, Joe? So you've got your normal turret with your driven tools, and then as a plug-in,
one turret, single turret.
They can have no. This one had twin turret, twin spindle. But on the turret, 6 of those stations would hold this B-axis, which could then...
So it's a modular aspect, and you're adding more axis.
Absolutely, and it was just amazing. So you can have a B-axis in a slider, which could be manual, sort of indexable or simultaneous, but this was on the turret on a fixed head.
And it's just totally modular.
I'm fairly sure I've seen online Star release something similar.
No, this is first of all, still prototype.
Be reviewing this soon?
Absolutely,
brilliant.
We will.
Brilliant.
So there you go. Right, guys, I think that's enough. But if we want to chat some more emo, I think we're going to have to do another podcast. What do you reckon?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's why I'm here, Gio.
It's not very often you have good ideas.
I get bored fairly easy, Colin, I must admit. Depends if we're going to change the personnel.
All right.
I'm happy to stand down.
Yeah, be put down maybe. Well, that's it. Anyway, MTD Podcast Series 2, number 1, EMO, all about EMO. We had a fantastic time. 27 halls of engineering, what did you call it?
Masterclass.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something different there.
An abundance of technology.
Okay.
Was it 140,000 visitors, was it, did I read?
A lot of visitors, mate. So absolutely fantastic. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back relatively soon, I would say.
Cheers, Colin.
Have a great day.
Cheers, Joe, Gio. See you soon.